Hi, Tim Unkert here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install Alma Linux on Windows. So what is Alma Linux? Well, Alma Linux is a free Linux operating system for the community by the community. Here's the description. An open source, community owned and governed, forever free enterprise Linux distribution focused on long-term stability, providing a robust production grade platform. Alma Linux OS is binary compatible with RHEL. So if you are trying to learn Linux to get a job and you want to do something that's similar to, say, CentOS, Alma Linux is a distribution that you might want to try out. Another one's Rocky Linux, but that's a topic for a different video. Anyways, let's scroll down on their website, which is almalinux.org. And if we scroll down, we see that the Windows subsystem for Linux does have an Alma Linux environment that we can install. So let's do that. So I'm going to go to my search bar and search for the Microsoft Store. And once I find that, I'm going to click Open. And I'm going to search for one word, Alma Linux. And we see that Alma Linux OS 9 here. It's free. We can click Get. And throughout this video, as we go through this, I'm going to show you a few different things you may need to do. And we may run into an error. I'll show you how to correct that and a couple different things that can help correct issues if you run into them. Okay, so now it's installed. So I'm going to click Open, and the terminal is going to pop up, and we see that there's an issue here. All right, it said failed to attach to disk. The system cannot find the file specified, so it's an error. Let's press any key to continue, and that's going to close out. But we have it installed, but we might need to enable the Windows subsystem for Linux. So I'm going to go back to my search bar here, click on Features, and let's click Open. And if I look here, I don't have Windows subsystem for Linux checked. I need to check that. The other thing I need to check is that virtual machine platform is checked. Sometimes that's not checked, and that can cause a problem. I'm going to click OK here, and it's going to search for the required files, and it's going to give me the option to restart, which I need to do. So I'll come on back once I restart. Okay, so I've restarted my computer. Let's search for Alma Linux. Alma Linux. Let's click Open. And there's still an issue. Okay, let's press any key to continue. Let's go back to Features. And we have turn Windows features on or off. Let's click Open. We check. We have the Windows subsystem for Linux. We have the virtual machine platform. Okay, so I'm just going to close this out, and I'm going to go back to my browser, and I'm going to Google, and I want to look for WSL releases. And let's click on that, and let's go here. And we got a pre-release here, but if we scroll on down, so this is end of 2024 at the time it's recording, so the latest is 2.3.26. May be different by the time you see this video. I don't have an ARM-based Chromebook, so I'm going to do, or an ARM-based Windows machine, so I'm going to go for the x64.msi. Let's download that. Let's open the file. I'm going to agree yes to any changes. Okay, so let's just get rid of that. And now let's try Alma Linux again. Okay, so this is a new one. Let's search it. So I'm going to copy that with Control-Shift-C. And let's actually Google this, because Google is sometimes better for finding this stuff. Okay, so we got the super user. Yep. Accept all cookies. Okay. All right, so we have to have WSL unregister. Let's try WSL unregister Alma Linux. Let's go here and go to, let's do command prompt. WSL -- unregister Alma Linux. Okay. All right, so it says on registering. Let's check that out. Now let's retry. Okay, still the same problem. We might have to do, what is it? Alma Linux, all in caps. Let's try that on the command prompt. So let's bring this back up and try. Okay, still no distribution by that name. No distribution. Um, oh, okay. We might want to do WSL-L. Okay, AlmaLinux-9. Ah, that's what we have to do. So we do WSL-unregister, and then we'll do Alma Linux-9. And okay, so now it's completed successfully. Let's close this all out. Let's close all and just retry again. Okay. Okay, so now we're installing. So we've gone through a bunch of the different errors that you might have when you're trying to install this. Now I installed it before because it's like practicing for the video, but so we came up with a new error, or I did. So that's interesting. So anyways, I'm going to type a username I want to use, and let's type a password I want to use. Okay, and so now we got the password. I'm going to clear out the screen, and you want to make sure everything's up to date. So I'm going to type sudo dnf. Let's see, check update, and it's going to ask me for the sudo password. And it's going to check everything that I can update and run through that. And if I just change this command to take out the check update, I can just run it and update everything. It's going to ask me to update everything, and there's going to be an additional 64 megabytes of space taken. So I'm going to say yes, hit enter, and run that through. Okay, so we've run on through. Looks good. Everything's up to date. One thing I want to do, I'm going to do control comma. Let's try that again. Control comma. And so I previously set the default profiles AlmaLinux OS 9. It's typically as Windows PowerShell, so you can change it to AlmaLinux OS 9. You also might see this AlmaLinux 9. Those are interchangeable. I'm going to pick the OS. The other thing I like to do is, normally this is off to center and launch. I like to center it. And then we go to AlmaLinux OS 9, go down here to the appearance. You can have it appear in the Alma Linux theme, but you can obviously change this if you want. What I like to do, let me just pick Alma Linux. I like to do is the typical font they use for Windows. It's Consolas. I like to change it to Cascadia Mono, but there's a bunch of different ones you can select. And then if we go on down, cursor shape, you can change it. I like the filled box. I'm going to click Save, and everything should be set. So let's close all the tabs. Let's make sure this is pinned to the taskbar. So I want to pin it to the taskbar and close this one out, this error. And so now if I open it, boom, we're into Alma Linux, and we can start focusing on Linux. So hopefully this video was helpful to you. I went through and I had some new errors. That third error that I had was unanticipated, so I searched and I showed you how to clear that up. Yeah, you can pretty much figure everything out by Googling stuff, or you're going to man pages or that kind of thing. Hopefully you found this video interesting. If you did, please like and subscribe. I hope to see you in the next one.